alongside Huanfeng. We'll have to see how they're going to do here today against LGD, though, as we're already into the draft. Fiora banned away from the Shy. Renata taken off, banned away by the Shy, in fact. Renata taken off the board as well by Weibo, as the Silas being banned away from Angel.
Yeah, so I also wonder whether or not this means we could get an early null rotation with the Silas being banned as well. We'll see how both of these teams feel. Talia will join the ban phase. No big surprise. You saw both games in our first series today was open, I recall. Or at the very least, it was open in the second game. Talia, one of the strongest champions on patch, and there goes Zeri on blue side. Not too surprised either. We'll see whether or not we get something along the lines of another hyper carry or primary carry like the Kalista, just for the sake of having that one gone and dead.
Yeah, one thing I will say is the Draven is available for LGD right now. Sivir being banned away from Huanfeng. Both Assam and Huanfeng are Draven players. If the Kalista is locked in, that Draven is open as an answer. SOFM immediately goes for the Poppy, though. First pick Poppy. That's what I like to see.
Yeah, I mean, it's Poppy, but I think it's the fact that it's the Shy who's, you know, not the Shy, it's SOFM rather, it's because the Shy is picked it. Let's pick his top, is how drafts normally work. It's because SOFM is such a nutcase on so many picks. And Poppy kind of enables that playstyle. We saw last game TN kind of not caring too much. SOFM is basically permanently not caring about what he's doing or what he's doing to the enemy team. And a pick like Poppy will enable that a lot. But LGD on the opposite side, immediate response, nah. And the Ahri, a lot of safety inside of those lanes. We'll see how Weibo want to respond. Full top side rotation, pretty plausible here. Playing with the idea of this Azir. And I think even if Quake ends up getting something that can attack these lanes quite easily, we've seen quite a few times how hard Azir is to lock down. And it's a Kennen lock. Shy.
Now, we have not seen much Kennen this split. There's been a little bit. We saw some in some of the clips earlier today. Like, there has been a smattering of Kennen. This is the first Kennen game for the... Oh, no, sorry. This is his third game on the Kennen this split. 100% win rate so far for the Shy in that top side. We'll see how that's going to work out. Viego taken by Quay. I will just quickly mention, the Poppy being priority, finally stopping SOFM from being that Viego one-trick that he was for so much of this split. Let's look at the second ban phase, though, because we have no supports and no AD carries locked in.
Yeah, okay. So, expecting a lot of the engaged supports to be taken off the board from LGD. Actually, no, they're prioritizing the Yuumi first ahead of everything. So, I wonder if there's anything that could be signaling, because if I'm LGD, I'm looking at Kennen and Azir. I don't want more setup from the support role of On, but maybe they're anticipating a strong top side focus from Weibo playing into the Shy on this Kennen. So they just want to try and remove some of the scaling options that On could have. Of course, they could also still take away an engage option, but Kalista taken away from Assam. We already said how LGD, if Assam gets leads, can definitely be played off of. So trying to take away some of those individual agency picks from the bottom side of LGD.
Yeah, I will say the Kalista ban is interesting to me because I feel like Huanfeng is the kind of player that would confidently take a Draven into Kalista. But what it says to me is that maybe LGD are right and Weibo are actually wanting to play more of a weak side in that bottom lane. Senna is currently available. Huanfeng and On were one of the pairs that, you know, previously really liked the Senna and Tom Kench. They've not played it that much this split, but, you know, last split, Senna Tom Kench was one of their bread and butter picks.
Yeah, I mean, if they pick it up as well as just the immediate duo, LGD, in my mind, just don't have the tools to do much early and then also stand up to the scaling of Azir Senna. So Aphelios is going to come out as kind of half an answer to that scaling question. But if Senna Tom Kench, great call, by the way, comes out.
Like, if there's a team I know, it's Weibo.
It's Weibo. Like, okay, because what do you realistically pick that really causes major issues here for this Weibo lineup? You need engage because you decided to go towards the Viego. He's more suited to the skirmishing. He needs set up his own right in these team fights. I think Nautilus is the only thing you could really go here. Maybe Rel if you were feeling a little more fruity. But I think Nautilus just makes a little more sense. The only problem with this is that, you know, depth charge, single target. What does Tom do the greatest at? Stopping single targets from dying. So it feels a little bit rough on the LGD side of things, I will say. But still, setup is there on the bottom side early on to try and get some abuse going. But I think Weibo just have a much stronger team composition when it comes to team fighting, when it comes to early laning in terms of just being safe, because Quay on the Viego, to me, doesn't have too many ins. So I'm looking towards LGD and I'm saying, how are you dealing with some of the lanes in the setup that you have? Because if you don't get a snowball going, it's the center is here show, and the Shy, I'm sure, will find quite a few flanks, because he's going to be relatively uninhibited in this game too.
Yeah, there's a Ribbit that's uninhibited as well down in that bottom side. We'll have to wait and see what's going to happen in this one, because I feel like for Weibo, they've got basically a dream draft. Like, when you think historically about Weibo and you think of them as Suning, just playing super slow and scaling up was like their bread and butter. And it's still something that they do sometimes just lean on. And I feel like on the side of LGD, when we have seen success for this team, it's through winning the early game and snowballing. So I feel like they've got their work cut out to try and find advantages, because I'm not sure that they'll be able to match up to the late game prowess of what Weibo are bringing to the table.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. I think, to me, whenever I see Senna Azir as a duo, it just feels super obnoxious, because typically you'll always see fasting Senna these days. So it's like, okay, you have an additional frontliner from the bottom side of the map. You have Senna, who's eventually going to get enough gold to just be a regular AD carry anyway. And Azir will provide you with the DPS that you could occasionally be lacking if Senna goes towards the Eclipse. Sort of lethality build has a little more burst in her kit instead. So everything just kind of works out and everything band-aids each other. And like you say, LGD, they really do have their work cut out for them, because they just don't stand up to the scaling bite, in my opinion. It's going to have to come down from finding picks from this Ari, from Quay on the Viego as well. I'm just trying to move that 2v2 around.
That's the key thing, right? Quay and Haichao, but also Jin Chao. I feel like one of the strengths of LGD we have seen is Jin Chao playing for the engage, setting up Quay and Haichao. In the series against WE, one of the best things that we saw from this LGD roster was them being aggressive. Quay going for really aggressive invades in the early game, and the rest of the squad being more than happy to move on in with him. And Weibo, a team that maybe could suffer against that, especially with a Senna Tom Kench at the bottom lane with an Azir in the mid lane. They might not be able to match up. But I am curious about the top lane as well. The Gnar blind picked once again, and we're seeing another potential answer here in terms of this Kennen from the Shy. Look at this trading. My goodness, Fairness just getting destroyed.
Yeah, and he's not going to be able to go back to base
as
either.
the minions arrive, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He can't just recall and kind of fix that. And that is now Fairness having to walk into lane with half HP. And the Shy, he's going to get another auto attack. I was wondering if he's going to trade more autos, but it seems like he wasn't too interested. Pretty good start if you're the Shy on the Kennen this time around, just working with half a health bar more.
And it's just such a hard situation for for Fairness as well. Chilita being the other LGD top laner. He was playing last time I cast them. Fairness, a player that has been having a bit of a rough split, but then recently kind of came into form on picks like the Sejuani. But then starting up today against the Shy, a matchup that's already going to be tough for him. And starting the lane like this, yeah, it's not a good look. It's not a pretty start.
We'll see whether or not Weibo actually try and abuse this. You can see, cheekily, SOFM snuck over to those Raptors. Quay is on a ward at level 2. So I think he wanted to interrupt the lane here. The issue is SOFM is level 3.
The funny thing is, that ward wasn't dropped by the Shy for laning. That was dropped for the trade at level 1. Now they move into the lane on the top side. Quay is about to get stunned up here. SOFM hits him with the hammer smash. Quay forced to flash here. Look at them. Both LGD players stuck under the tower. No. Both at a level deficit. This is painful for LGD.
I'm kind of surprised that Weibo don't go for a crash and maybe just try and execute Quay. Maybe afraid that Fairness will hit that Mega Gnar. Actually have a little bit of CC to work with. Quay forced out on the top side. And the thing is, now Weibo are going to know exactly where he is for the next couple of minutes, because they saw him at top side at that timer with 2 camps. They picked up the Raptor, so they know it was just red Krugs and he was sitting at that tri-brush. And they should be able to track him for a little while. We'll see what Weibo do with this information, and whether or not LGD actually play around with the fact that it should be telegraphed as to where Quay is, and maybe they can use some of that pressure.
I mean, so far, SOFM definitely putting pressure on, definitely trying to make things happen. Quay, as you say, on the bottom side, Weibo should be aware of it. Hwapong and On should be safe for now. On having that exhaust does make it a little bit more difficult to try and make plays underneath the tower from the bottom side, but SOFM not bothered about trying to play around Quay here. He's sticking on this top side, and he's making sure that Fairness can do nothing. And crucially, Fairness 10 CS as he recalls here. The Shy on 27, and has a cull to work with as well. Like, the goal difference is going to be absurd. Oh no, the bullying in the top side as SOFM starts to dive straight away, takes the tower shot. Oh my days, gets away with his life. But look at this, it doesn't even matter if the kill went down because Fairness can do nothing here.
Yeah, I mean, Fairness comes back to lane, already 200 HP, will heal up of the pots, but now, we said, LGD, the jungler pathing should be a little bit telegraphed. It seems like Huang Feng doesn't even want to be involved in the dive, just going to leave On to soak up the wave. But I kind of get it, because you're the center, even though you have flash and heal, you're far easier to dive, whereas On has that great health to work with. You know what? That was a great adaptation of just saying, hey, I'm not diveable at the top catch. That was a great dodge from Huang Feng.
Oh, here we go. On goes in. There's a route coming through onto Quay. SOFM is here as well. There's the slow coming out from the center queue. That'll be it as Assam arrives. If they found the knockup, maybe there's a play available.
Yeah, maybe, but no follow-up. Means that, for now, LGD kind of walk out of it. Jin Jiao loses his flash. Nice attempt from LGD, but there just wasn't really enough fuel in the tank to get it going, and that was just a really nice response on the dive, too, from Weibo as man, it's just going from bad to worse up in the top side. Like,
look at the CS difference, man. The CS difference in the top lane in favor of the Shy is almost as big as the CS difference that Assam has over a Senna. Like, that is terrifying in that top side. It's a 25 CS lead, 26. As Jin Zhao looks to rectify the issue. He's moving to the top lane and the Shy needs to be cautious. Does have flash available, but he will not be expecting a support gank here. Jin Zhao, can he find the hook? Goes for the attempt, but great respect from the Shy. Makes the play safe as it can be.
Yep, exactly. Just uses that electric crush pretty early on as well. And there's just not enough for Jin Zhao to really reach for. And now the Shy has level 6, and Fairness is probably a little whiles away from that. Oh,
this is not a dive that you want to do, LGD. I'm telling you, don't go for the dive here. The Shy moving up, checking the brush. Quay hanging around, but this is a long time spent in the top lane. When look at where the wave is. Like, this is not a play that's going to happen. So the wave will finally crash. Quay just trying to make sure that his top laner can crash that wave. SOFM can now move in and clear some vision.
Yeah, exactly. Just wanted to ensure that Fairness doesn't get absolutely murdered by SOFM, who does make his way towards the top side of the map. We'll clear out that ward, and it looks like he's just more interested in a reset for now. Not too much focus on the Dragon, as I feel like the way that this top lane matchup has been going has pulled the attention of both teams quite significantly.
Honestly, though, that's great for Weibo, right? Like, when you've got a Senatom Kench, if all of the focus of the game is on that top side, that's a dream scenario for your Senatom Kench. Just scale up for free, getting damage down on this bottom side. 2 souls every time you trade on a deep water diving on the spot. I assume that was a misclick. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt that was not just disrespect.
Well, now he doesn't have it for a little bit, and actually... see if that Jin Zhao wanted to find the angle. I love the emotes. It's one of the best things that Riot did for competitive, to be honest with you.
Dropping some emotes. Fairness wants to go in on the top side, but the Shy dodges away from the stun. Oh, the flash, but answered immediately. If there's one thing you can't criticize, it's the Shy's mechanics. He's actually used his ultimate off screen at some point, but crucially, survives the play and maintains that 30 CS advantage at 7 minutes.
Yeah, he's fairly close to perfect CSing. I think he's maybe 8 creeps off, given how much tension has been up towards the top side. Not surprised he's missed a few at the very least, but double CS pretty much on Fairness right now. Definitely getting the better end of this matchup. A lot of help, of course, but man, oh man. I'm just realizing as well, like, this is a lane-focused game here with the 2 compositions we have. We could see a Flame Horizon in that top side. It's a while since I've seen it just in a laning phase. You sometimes see them, it's usually down to someone side laning. I would love to see that in a professional game in 2022, just from the laning phase. We'll have to wait and see, though. With Quay spending so much time in this top side, it's going to make it difficult for the Shy to extend any lead. Yeah, exactly. Quay is doing his best just with presence alone to try and ensure that Fairness isn't going to get jumped on here. Just
Shy has
the mini
ult.
map. She does have ult again now. And Fairness is just going to time out of Mega Nut, but it seems like with the wave crashing, they will just cede all of the pressure. And are they actually going to go towards Herald here? They have mid lane priority. Jin Zhao also just came out of base, so I was wondering whether or not he'll open up towards the top side of the map. He's changed his mind and is moving up towards the rest of his team, but SOFM will win out on that blue buff, and now I expect we're going to see a Herald start.
Yeah, so Quay starting this Herald up. You can see Jin Zhao was moving over. He's moving back to the bottom side, though, as On actually kind of doing the opposite, as both bot laners from Weibo start to make their way up. A little bit of a trade onto Jin Zhao here, as Huang Feng could be hooked, but this would be a 2v1 for Jin Zhao. I'm not sure that's a hook he wants to go for. You see SOFM wants to make a play on the top side. The Herald just abandoned here by LGD. They decide against the play. Still 0-0 on the clock, but it hasn't felt like a 0-0 game here. There's been a lot of presence from junglers trying to make the play.
Yeah, exactly. It's been pretty consistently around the top side where this action has been. Oh, Fearness is actually jumping forward.
Fearness tries to go in here, just get stunned up. The Shy just dodging everything Fearness throws at him, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, Shy's movement in this lane has been pretty damn good, and he's not even the one with boots. And just using that base movement speed from the cannon as I think this Herald is going to come down to a flip.
Oh, okay! Quay manages to find the smite. And LGD, it was a bit of a sneak away attempt from Weibo to some extent. There was a ward in Pixel Brush, obviously, but yeah, not going to work out for Weibo in the end, and LGD do find themselves that small advantage. The minions can't finish off the plate, and On might have gone too deep for this one. Graviton was already used, though, so he'll be okay.
Throws up thumbs up, he knows. I'm alright, don't worry about me. I wonder where this Herald will actually be used, because to me, you want to give the goal to Assam, right? He's the Aphelios, he's the true late game component of this team composition, but also there's so much wave clear from the Azir, so many zoning tools as well. Just from a lot of the Weibo champions existing. Maybe you want to drop it in the mid lane to try and crack open the middle of the map to try and give yourself a little more space. We'll see what LGD decide to do and where Quay actually prioritize putting their resources and time, though, as Fearness again jumps forward.
He tries to make the play onto the Shy. Can he finish this one off? Good ulti comes out, body blocking the Shy, but misses the boulder. The Shy with a beautiful little sidestep. Man, he just can't be hit. He just can't be hit by these skill shots. Hai Chao moving over as well as Quay in the top side. Would just be a Herald on the top side. That is going to minimize that difference in the top lane.
But is this where you want to drop the Herald, though? Like, it would be pretty opportunistic to pick up all of the additional gold, yes. But again, I think if you take a step back, take a breath, and you just kind of think about the win conditions of what you probably want from this game, I really like the fact that Quay held onto the Herald there. Obviously, comes with the opportunity cost of... Oh, I think I've used that right. Opportunity cost of, hey, maybe we're not going to get the charge anywhere else. We'll see, because Weibo, again, with SOFM, has been putting down the pressure quite consistently wherever Quay has been.
All right, let's see. SOFM started off the Herald, got it smited away from him. Quay is on the blue buff right now. Maybe there's a chance he moves in and tries to go for a smite, but not looking like it for the time being here, Weibo. Will be able to grab the first Drake of the game for themselves. And interestingly, Huang Feng not opting to go over and grab those 2 free souls, just returning to that bottom lane where the wave is pushed on in. So still 0-0 on the scoreboard. But Jamada, we got to revisit the win cons. This feels really beneficial for Weibo to just have a super quiet early game.
Yeah, I mean, again, you say quiet, it's not felt quiet, but in terms of, you know, the actual end results of what we're seeing right now in the first 12, 13 minutes, nothing's really happened. The dragon's gone down towards Weibo. That's going to be quite nice. And it was a late one, too. 11 minutes into the game, pretty much. Seeing a dragon go down that late is pretty rare. So I mean, late soul.
You've got an Azir in the mid lane that's 10 CS up over the Ahri from Hai Chao. You've got a Senna that's always just going to be stacking on up. And crucially, going for a Noon Quiver item. Not going for the Umbral Glaive as the first item like we often see. Going for full damage here from Huang Feng. SOFM wants to make a play in the mid lane. Okay. We'll actually drop the Herald in the mid lane from Quay here as Angel just tries to clear the wave. SOFM tried to knock the Herald away, but Quay stood in the way. That the charm on SOFM, so he can't hit the eye. Very nicely done by LGD to guarantee that Herald.
Yeah, that would have been quite cheeky if SOFM got that one away. And unfortunately, as you say, body block comes in. Treasure line and engage on the bottom side, but nothing's really going to come from it other than Weibo winning the health trade. And LGD, they get the gold from the mid lane at the very least. So if they pick up the second Herald, then they can break this mid lane tier 1. But again, you know, win conditions, Aphelios, I feel like he's one of the few things you can lean on at the moment. And it feels like they're just not necessarily leaning into it right now, but he's getting a lot of CS down here. He's pretty much 10 CS per minute. And he already has that Gale Force, so he's on track, at the very least, to being quite strong come, let's say, third Dragon, because it's going to be a late one. Will LGD even be able to stand up to, again, the scaling prospects of what Weibo actually have at the moment? On.
Wait, On just did it on the spot again? Assam is going to literally 2v1 them for absolutely no reason. I don't know what that was from Weibo. That was a tragic dive. That's maybe the worst dive I've seen this year. Assam will go down, being a little too greedy as SOFM moves in. On grabs the kill. Jamada, I'm hoping we get a replay because I have no idea what on earth just happened.
Replay, please. Smile. Okay. Yeah, hi. Thanks. Yeah. On just abyssal dives on himself. My only assumption is that it's a misclick, but Huangfeng, I think, actually clicked on Assam a little early anyway, so he would have still taken tower aggro regardless. But that was a lot of burst damage out of Assam, you know. Infernum, pressed all his buttons, Gale Force as well, gives him a little bit of damage. It's a level 8 center. She's squishy, right? But definitely a very mis-executed dive from Weibo.
I think Huangfeng's thought process was, the tongue lash from On will hit, that'll get aggro, and then he'll deep-water dive off the slow, right? The tongue lash does not hit.
In that order.
And then he deep-water dives on the spot. So, On with maybe the worst play I've seen all year. I have consistently been an On apologist because I just love this team, but that was appalling.
Feels bad.
That's where I'm at too. That's where I'm at too.
You know, it's hard. You see plays like that. You just kind of have to. You have to let it sink back to the back of your brain. Just ignore it. It didn't happen.
Try and repress it.
Repress it as much as you can. Kind of a big win for LGD though, right? I think if we talk about the positive of it, it's a free kill. Overturn of Felios. It's going to get him towards his spikes a little bit sooner at the very least. But again, how much the scaling really benefit LGD into this game when you're not really doing much to shut down Angel in the mid lane. He's level 12 on this Azir, 177 CS. He's doing absolutely fine. And again, despite the strange ongoings of whatever the hell happened in that bottom side dive, Senna Tom Kench is still going to Senna Tom Kench you. Senna is eventually going to just get to a point where she has enough souls to just be an absolute artillery cannon. And going towards that more DPS focused build with the Kraken Slayer 2 just means DPS is going to be on the table for her as well.
Yeah, not going to be this Senna that we've got used to this year, where you go for an Umbral Glaive and that's kind of all of the items that you get to see. The Senna never farms at all. We're going to see Huangfeng start farming in the mid-game. That's kind of the new style, and deciding that since you can go for the more farm-heavy style in the mid-game, he's now going to go for a Kraken Slayer as well. So a bit more of an expensive build, but much more value in it if you can pull it off. Now over to the Drake again for Weibo, as they're just going to start this one off, and I don't think Quay can really move.
No clouds. Thank you, RNG. It's going to be a mountain.
Wait a second. It's going to be a mountain soul, which is not good. Oh, here we go. The shot flies into the play. 0 to 100 from Weibo. And it's instantly one kill. Hai Chao going to be trying to escape with the Spirit Rush. Will be able to get away with his life. But my goodness, Weibo out of nowhere pulled the trigger. Oh, stun onto Hai Chao. No follow-up, though. Oh, Hook, though, comes out onto Huangfeng. He stepped too far forward. It doesn't matter. He's got a TK. And it ends up with another kill for Weibo.
I love that cool much. It's just like, action stops. Okay, my turn. Never mind. More action, more action, more action. LGD get collapsed on. The Shy, like you said, he just kind of flies out of left field. Teleport in, I believe, was just a pretty cheeky flank, and it was comboed on excellently from the west.
Honestly, it wasn't even a flank.
It was just kind of frontal,
belt
right?
and flash and just zipped out of
the
lane.
Okay, yeah, my bad. What? It's off vision, kind of. It's a pincer.
Oh,
by definition.
Pushes Quay into it.
That was sick
as
well.
That is a nice little combo.
Yeah, that was quite cheeky. And yeah, no one on LGD can really do much about that when your carry is being absolutely sliced through by that Maelstrom. And dash forward, almost gets Hai Chao killed. And Jin Zhao a little bit over-eager to potentially find that pick because the Devour hadn't even been used yet. And Jin Zhao goes down to Huangfeng.
Yeah. And I love that from Huanfeng, jumping out forward to get the kill because he knows that the hook is on cooldown for Jin Zhao. He knows the charm is on cooldown for Haichao. So very safe. And using that 650 health shield that you get from the Devour from Tom Kench. It's absurd. LGD now starting to fall behind. They're about 2,000 gold down. As Quay does grab the Raptors. At least he's getting a silver lining here. On moving to the bottom lane, but look how many players are here from Weibo. You've got a four-man group here as On moves to this mid lane. And Huanfeng just following his jungler around to make sure he's getting souls. Kraken Slayer finished. SOFM, though, used that steadfast presence to... He's just CC'd forever. Finally taken down by Quay. He was tanky, but not tanky enough as Quay comes into the mid lane. On has to back off.
LGD, I think SOFM wanted to play the game. I'm not sure about how much CC just went in, but SOFM could not move, had no opportunity to flash. Nice pick, and they get the tier 1 off it, and that's going to open up the map. That's the consequence of that play. We'll see whether or not they can actually find a little bit of mid lane priority and try and move to side lanes, perhaps try and get a little more pressure down. We said they were down 2,000 gold, but still finding that pick is absolutely huge. Claw back that lead just a little bit, just a touch, and already using the benefits of taking down that mid lane tier 1, moving towards the top side, giving Fearless a little bit more pressure. The Shy looks like he's going to clear out this wave, and this tower won't drop just yet.
Not just yet. Still maintaining that 30 CS lead up in the top side, but now with a kill and an assist as well. I don't think we're going to see the lane-based Flame Horizon that I got all excited about earlier on. But as we said before, Kraken Slayer finished for Huanfeng. Angel with a Liandry's and a needlessly large rod on top. As the Herald will be dropped in this mid lane, and Huanfeng won't be able to finish the tower for now. Gravitum comes out, as well as the Severa multi, but Huanfeng will just heal back up after another Q. Herald comes in. There's the tower taken. Look at the positioning from SOFM. I think Weibo want a little bit more on this one. Jin Zhao chunked by Angel here as the Herald will get a charge, knocking one away. It's 2v4 under this tower, but I don't think Weibo can walk forwards.
Yeah, I think if that Keeper's Verdict's landed onto Assam, then maybe they'll feel a little more confident because that's the damage dealer gone. But only knocks away Quay, so the wave clear portion of LGD was still there, so they don't quite get that tier 2. Nice attempt from SOFM either way. Now the Dragon's up in 60 seconds. Expect maybe a couple of resets out, and then we will look towards that objective. LGD, you have to wonder whether or not they feel confident enough to contest it, right? I think being down a couple thousand gold, don't quite think they have any item advantages anywhere either. The Shy just picked up a void stuff I saw on the HUD, so the Shy is ready to go.
This build is terrifying. Like the amount of magic pen that the Shy has right now, you might as well not have magic resist. It's going to be difficult for LGD, especially if Assam gets caught, if Haichao gets caught, they're going to be one-shot by the Shy at this stage. So, terrifying situation. Look at the player gold. Both the Shy and Angel topping that table. You know, obviously Huanfeng going to be low down because he's playing the center. It's a little deceptive for the AD carry. 8 seconds until the Drake comes up, though. As I was too busy looking at items here, LGD trying to posture to contest.
Trying to posture for now. LGD, though, just not really sure whether they have it in them. I think Haichao really has to find a charm onto Angel, onto Huanfeng, but the issue is On will always go for the Val. The Dragon's already dropping low.
The Shy isn't here right now. This is 4v5, but it doesn't matter. Weibo's still winning it. SOFM in the pit here. Dragon down to 1,000. It's taken by SOFM. Fearless misses the Mega and the Shy bounces. You make one misstep, the Shy will tear you apart. LGD rinsed by Weibo, Drake taken, and Baron on the cards.
Absolutely rinsed, and Weibo will go towards the Baron happily. Assam and Haichao, the only ones who are able to survive that carnage somehow. And now it should just be Baron into Siege. I'm really not sure what LGD can do about it, to be honest with you. Get outranged by the Azir, by the Senna. Feels like the scaling just hasn't quite come online yet for Assam on the Aphelios. He would have been the only aspect of it really. Just picks into looking for Aphelios plays. Let's get a look at this replay as LGD, they were postured, sure, but you can see on the top side of the fight, soldiers kind of stop a lot of LGD from moving forward, and also Assam just gets knocked away, so that's how he survives the team fight. Fearless jumps forward to try and find the Mega Gnar, and as soon as he goes forward, the Shy doesn't have anything to worry about. You can see the pit, jungler's being locked down, so the Shy says, oh, okay, no Mega Gnar, oh, no problem. Everybody is about to die. Presses his R key, flashes forward. Really excellent play from him, and
beautiful.
Weibo pick up everything for it.
They do as well. The cannon finishes it off on dropping another remote. He's starting to build a reputation for himself at this rate. You know, tragic dive to start the game off from him, but since that point, it's been looking pretty good. And I have to say, Weibo look terrifying. This new version of Senna looking pretty good from Hwanfeng as well. A little cautious as Ward comes out, and immediately SOFM just goes in. He has no respect for LGD at this stage of the game. The Shy trying to join in as well. And I feel like when the Shy joined this roster, inevitably there'd be an increased level of chaos. But I didn't expect it when you're drafting a full scaling composition for them to just run at LGD like this.
Yeah, I mean, at this point though, when you're this far ahead in pressure, you can just always poke out of range with the Azir. With the Senna, when you actually hit these towers, sure, the melee components of the composition in SOFM and the Shy. No, I say melee, but, you know, the Shy plays any champion he wants like a melee champion, to be fair.
The Shy's cannon is like Mark's Yumi. He's going to get up in your face, and he's going to beat the crap out of you. Hai Chao trying to move over to the Shy, but the Lightning Rush will keep him safe. As the siege continues in this bottom side, that'll be another tier 2 taken here by Weibo. And look at that pace here. You know, we commented on the slow first 10 minutes while there was like posturing, no significant action coming out there. But now we're 2 minutes away from this next Mountain Drake. Weibo in under 30 minutes here just completely dominate the map.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it kind of is a bit of a symptom of the draft, right? There wasn't really too much proactivity to be found in most of these lanes besides the top side, where of course there was a lot of shenanigans. As a bomb side, actually, there's a play.
Speaking of shenanigans, on saves Angel's life, and that's everything from LGD. They've used so much. Jin Chao and Asum both ulting there to try and get Angel, but because they don't get him now, it's just a disastrous play as the mid lane inhib will be opened up here. Weibo even going to TP onto the minion to make this happen. Angel back. Full HP, the ultimate's still down on the side of LGD. Inhib falls in the mid lane. There's still 5 seconds of Baron. I don't think that's enough for another inhib.
Not quite, but they do have the numbers and the pressure and another wave, but it can get cleared out quite quickly. Mega Knife from Fearless could mean a bit of a disengage. Ooh, that dredge line was
Good
so
attempt
close.
though. I know, yeah. Jin Chao trying to get onto Hwanfeng. It was real close. Not quite close enough though. There's Hwanfeng. They're just going to stay. They're not even bothered about the Baron. What they're doing is buying time, because in a minute that Mountain Drake will spawn, and Weibo would love to just move on over. They don't want to reset if they can help it.
Yeah, if they reset, they seed over. You know, first move towards the river.
Oh, Hai Chao. He must have TP'd in here. He's going for a flank.
Oh, they found him, though.
Spot again.
Wow.
I swear Weibo was psychic. They just, no matter where anyone is, we see the blue trinket come out. We saw the 3-man stack earlier, warded out. We now see Hai Chao on the TP flank, immediately spotted out as well. The Shy moves up to the top side to pressure. Drake up in 25 seconds, and LGD out of sorts.
Yeah, they really are. There's just not much for them to do. I feel like at this point in the game, you'd say, all right, you know, how did LGD come back into it? Look for picks. Problem is, if it's not onto the Shy, who's been, you know, sidestepping everything, it feels like it's thrown his way in those kind of situations, and it's next to somebody where the Tahm Kench is around. It's just so hard. So much of your damage and burst is single target when it comes to looking for pick, unfortunately. And it feels like On has just been pretty on form, no pun intended, I'm sorry. At finding, at the very least,
aside from the deep water dives.
Yeah, like, okay. His W presses.
He's had a weird game, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's had some parts that are like 10 out of 10, and other parts that are literally minus 10 out of 10.
Yeah, it's like if you remove the W key from On's keyboard this game, he's been playing pretty good. Yeah, very up and down. But still, I think the fact that Tahm Kench is there to shut down one of the pretty much only avenues I feel like LGD have back into this game just makes it very difficult to play out. And again, not to harp on like a broken record, but Weibo just kind of scale better. They have champions that objectively one-to-one scale better than their counterparts, but also they just kind of outrange, they disengage better, and they also can re-engage into LGD's very limited forms of engage very easily. So LGD just have a mountain to climb if they are to find any kind of comeback, and now they're also dealing with this mountain soul.
Engage here is On, gonna grab his top laner. Good hook from Jin Chao, but I mean, there's no follow-up available. The Shy does use the Slicing Maelstrom. Fearness now here with the Mega Gnar. Can they find it? That's 2 stuns. An opportunity for LGD as Asam arrives on the play. Grabs him Infernum. Not the greatest ultis, though, and the Dawning Shadow finishes one. Angel flies in with the Shurima Shuffle. And it was a good attempt. I like the idea from LGD, but there's only so much you can do, and this one was too little and too late. They'll find a pick onto the Shy. No, they won't, because One saves him. It's a 1-for-1 there, and the back of the player's on. Looks for the slow. Haichao flashes out to safety, but look at the base. Angel not letting him get away with this one. He's looking to finish things off.
Yep, indeed, Angel, SOFM. They will close out this game. As you said, I like the idea from LGD. They just don't have the damage to close out on the pick. On is bullying Haichao, and Huang Fang will pick up the kill. As Weibo, they take the first game of this series. LGD back to the fountain for you, Jin Zhao.
You don't get to play this one. You don't get to stop them ending the game. Angel just hits the Nexus once or twice. And that is a comfortable win for Weibo. And a fairly quick one when you consider this was an Azir Senna composition. Winning in about 30 minutes. Not a bad performance.
Not bad pace to set at all. And again, I think a lot of it, not to say that inherently the LGD draft was bad, just more that they didn't really have a lot to play for, it felt like, unfortunately, right? You try and play towards the mid 2v2, well, you know,